well do it. Come on.
You know what time it is. It's an apostate voice. Apostate radio.
Yeah, there we go. That's right. Get it all out your system.
Baby.
Get it out your system.
I warm up my voice. I was a little weak. I'm not gonna lie. Warm my voice a little bit.
How in the world, like, of all the times, you just I basically laid it up for you to sing.
Yeah, well, there'll be more opportunities. You know,
There will.
That's for sure.
Who knows? Maybe I'll sing or something.
Yeah, why don't you? We do a duet, bro.
You already got Chris Olin asking when's the album coming out.
Working on it, bro. I'm working on that. It's gonna be a double LP, like Wu-Tang forever.
Oh my god. Anyways, greetings, good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. We are here. Another championship edition of Apostate Radio. That gentleman to the right of your screen, on the right side of your screen, is a man from my dog from the land of Appease. That would be Mr. Nostra Chavez, and I, of course, am Isaiah Carter, coming to you live from the County of Kings, the People's Republic of Brooklyn, and I am coming to you from the County of Kings one last time. This is the last time that you will be that we're broadcasting. At least I am broadcasting from the from where I'm living here in Brownsville, Brooklyn. This has been a big couple of weeks, and this was actually, and I say this because I just want to, matter of fact, I'll share these with you. I spent some time yesterday picking up grub for the wife to be and I, and was just driving through some portions of the city. Portions of Brooklyn. That's Eastern Parkway and it's actually, yeah, that's Eastern Parkway in Utica. Oh no, that's Nostrand. That's Nostrand. It was just driving through, and then there's Flatbush Avenue. It was a really, really nice day, and I was just passing through, and there's Fourth Avenue. The reason why, the reason why I took these pictures is because I've been living here in Brooklyn for the last 4 years, going on 4 years. It's been going on 5 actually. First moved down here in August of 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, and came down here with my DEIX, and she left in November of 2020, and I've been down here ever since. And then my life took several changes. And one of them is I proposed to my new girlfriend in December of 2024. And we are getting married July 26th. I'll be sure to share pictures and all that. We actually took a set of engagement shots that we never finished.
Oh,
but
very nice. Always fun.
Yeah, I'm moving to the Bronx. We will be living in Wakefield, which is all the way. I'm actually going to be very close to you. In a way, I'll be moving closer to a little bit closer to where you're at. So,
nice. I like that.
Yeah, Wakefield is what I call the North Pole of the Bronx. You have like Far Rockaway, which is the South Pole.
Yes.
And you have, and then you have Wakefield. It's like the furthest north you can go before you hit what is that?
Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon, yeah. Money earning Mount Vernon.
Money earning Mount Vernon.
Yeah. Also, so yes, I'll be there. I'll be broadcasting next week. We're actually going to be having, I believe, Hold on, let me just double check. I believe
in the schedule should we have Mia.
Mia Hughes.
Mia Hughes should be joining us.
Coming to us from the land down under. No, there's more than one Bronx, Chad. There's more than one Bronx. That's why they call it the Bronx. I'm messing around. No, it's the Bronx. I think if I'm remembering correctly, the reason why they call it the Bronx is because of Jonas Bronx. I think it's like Bronx Purchase. I believe the name given to the borough. This used to be all farmland. The Bronx used to be like a whole bunch of farmland or whatever. But anyway.
Oh yeah, Harlem too had some of that.
Oh yeah. And now we're just like, the land of the bike lane for some fucking reason. But anyways, we're gonna try our hardest not to talk about bike lanes today. Although, I can't really go, but we'll see 20 seconds without talking about it. But yes, so because today is our is my last show in here in Brownsville, I've got a special occasion. I've got a nice Cuba cigar from Acid. I'll be smoking that a little bit, and also got I guess my own little nutcracker spin on it. For the if you know, for those of you who live in Brooklyn,
I'm drinking some guava seltzer with Buddies. I think it's Buddies vodka. The guys, the old Tito's people. I've
got Ray and his nephew. I've got Ray and his nephew in there. So
that's a good.
We chilling today. But yeah, so just if you are new to the show, of course, we come to you live every Sunday at 8 p.m. Today we're doing it a little bit earlier for a couple reasons we'll go over. But make sure you follow us at Isaiah L. Carter, and of course at Nostra Chavez. That we tweet every day. We talk about a bunch of stuff. Lots of we usually it's politics and soccer and other sports stuff for me. My boy here is definitely on the philosophical end of things.
Politics, culture wars, philosophy, even some spirituality, man, even some of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you can follow the show here at Apostate Radio NY. We do our show updates there. Any last minute changes, general shit talk and all that kind of stuff. And if you want to support the show financially, we also have, you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/apostate radio. We would love to, we appreciate all the support. We've got things to buy anywhere from underwear to house renovations. Yeah.
You name it.
Yeah, we got a lot going on here. So anyways, this is a big weekend. The last weekend in the County of Kings. Let me just double check on one thing here, because I know that just make sure that everything is copacetic with our guest this evening. So what's on your mind today, Nose? What's going on? What's been going on in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, I mean, I got going to a concert tonight. Going to check out my boys Coheed and Cambria. Big, one of my favorite bands. I haven't got a chance to see them. Seen most of my favorite bands, so I definitely want to check them out. Might have to leave a little early today, but I'm going to talk for a bit. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having Zeek on. Looking forward to having Mia on next week. She's going to be going into a lot of the WPATH files and a lot of the craziness with the gender matter organizations and how they've been hiding things. So that's going to be good.
Insane.
South Africa stuff, and this guy talking about killing white farmers and stuff.
Yo,
Nancy does.
I've seen that.
I don't know, man.
That is the most. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. That guy has to be one of the most wicked people I've ever seen.
He's like consumed with hatred, man. It looks like. I mean, he's like the fucking dark, like a Sith Lord or something, man. It's like just talking and singing songs and dancing about killing like a certain race of people. It's like, I thought we were past this shit, man.
I mean, this is critical consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
This is critical consciousness. This is exactly what critical consciousness is in praxis. That's what that is, man. I mean, when you've got people here that are celebrating, I mean, they're celebrating killing, murder. They're celebrating mass murder. They are celebrating. These guys are bathing in the blood. These guys want to openly commit genocide. I think I can find it. Hold on one second, because I know I talked about it earlier today. Hold on, let me see if I can scroll through it. Oh, come on now.
Kill the boy.
Why is it?
Kill the farmer.
It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, they are openly celebrating genocide.
It's just that's nasty.
Right, like I thought that I'd found it. I know I talked about it.
It's on my if you look at my page, you could find there's like one video of him doing it today, I think. Like he's doing like the song again.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, look at my page. I think it's like this.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. I
can send you a link too. Is it actually he's I thought I heard a noise. Somebody here?
Yeah, he's here. Okay. I'm gonna bring Zeek in just a second.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. I got it. I'll put it in
yeah. Oh, got it. I got it.
Okay.
Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, I want to make sure everybody sees this. But before I do that, I want to introduce. Yes, I want to introduce this big bastard down here. This is this man puts the strong in Strong Island. You'll see why.
Right.
Yeah. This guy could literally bench press a fucking Aston Martin. I've seen him. He is one of the strongest members of the Black conservative movement here on X and online. He's done some work with Blexit, and he is known as Jasmine Crockett's baby daddy.
Oh, not bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, my man, Mr. Zeek Arkham. What's going on,
Big
fam?
Zeek?
What's up, brother? What's up, man? How you doing? You put my secret out there, man. Me and Jasmine Crockett got a whole love thing going on, man. You put my secret out there. Telling secrets.
Hey, man, you know, this is a full disclosure podcast here, man. This is full disclosure. What's going on, dude?
Nothing much, man. Chilling, man. Just, enjoying this weekend. That's
You've
all.
You've been busy. You just got back in. You were doing something out in out west, right? Or is it something you can? Is it something you can talk about or no?
Yeah, no, just I'm working with Blexit now. Recording some stuff for them. They're great people. Had a great time out there doing it. It was nice just being out there and hanging out with fellow conservatives, fellow guys who believe what I believe, and had a great time doing it. I don't know if I can say exactly what I did. I don't want them looking at me like, oh, this brother telling me we can't. This brother out here putting our business and our news out in the street. But it was nice to work with them. Nice to just be out there hanging out with them, fellowshipping with them, and doing my thing. So I'm back here on the East Coast, and looking forward to the next project.
Very nice.
Zeke, let me ask you something, brother. By the way, I'm Chavez, man. Nosa Chavez. Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you, bro. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I want to ask you: Is Candace Owens still involved with Blexit? Is she still? I think was she in charge or founded it, or was it like?
I know she's a founder. I've never met her. She wouldn't know me from a hole in the wall, but she founded it. Yeah.
I was just wondering. I was wondering if you got a chance to meet her or anything like that. She's an interesting individual, and she's a very enigmatic lady. Very smart. Very there's nothing she's not gonna say that she doesn't want to say. Like if she has it in her heart, she's gonna say it, which I respect. But she's
absolutely, bro.
Obviously very controversial.
I always say, she's one of the people you gotta pack a lunch if you're coming up against her. You're not just gonna steamroll her. You're not just gonna roll her over. You're not just gonna pull a little okey doke or rope a dope on her. She knows what she's talking about. So
if anything, it's gonna be the other way around.
Absolutely, man. She gonna make you cry. You're gonna be somewhere sitting trying to figure out your entire life after you're done with her.
Lying.
So, she's quick, man. She's very quick. And I don't agree with everything she says and stuff. I'm not trying to make an endorsement of Candace Owens, but I do respect people who tell what they think is the truth and people who really push the limits of free speech. I think it's important. I think we need people we need to know that free speech is still a thing. And exactly. That requires people to test it.
No, listen, if you find someone and you agree with them 100% of the time, you should probably just go and marry them, just because even my wife. Yeah. Even my wife, I do not agree with her 100% of the time. So, it's
how could you?
Yeah. No, I just from now on, I just take her side against me if we get into an argument.
Would it be a marriage if you did?
Anyway. Yeah, I'm not going to win anyway. So she's going to win inside. I'll just take her side against me.
Yo, listen. I'm marrying a Jamaican.
And
listen. My wife to be, I love her. Shout out to Kareen. Okay, this girl 5'4.5", and is from right outside of Kingston. I've been to her house. Okay, she can get about it. She is no, but no. I love my wife to be. I can't wait. And let me tell you something. I would agree with you. We having that balance where and having someone who can see things from a different perspective and let you know where you messing up sometimes. That is important.
Well, that's one of the biggest benefits of being married, man. Honestly, need because if you spend too much time alone, you can start to go crazy. You start to get you start to get a little too selfish. You start to see things your own way, and then you need people, at least somebody around you enough where they're like, "Yo, wait a second, that's kind of crazy. You shouldn't do that." Or you need to take a bath. You better clean up your house, whatever. Otherwise you can get crazy.
Clean up your house.
That's what happens with incels and shit, or crazy cat ladies.
Yo, are you telling us something right now, bro?
Not right now.
Are you letting us on to something?
I'm married. My house is clean, man. Maybe in the past.
So Zeek, so talk to us, man. You're a big voice in the conservative movement on social media. I'm guessing we all might be right around the same age. But how did you tell us about yourself, man? I don't think we've ever how did you get involved in the conservative movement? When was your awakening, and what's it been like working with Blexit and other, because I've seen you do some other conservative work with some other conservative conservative figures. So what's the story like we say here in New York, what's driven you, what's brought you to where you are right now?
I mean, honestly, I never thought I'd have this platform. I'm not one of these people who, when I started talking on X or Twitter, as it was known back then, I never thought I would be where I am now. I just started talking. I just started answering, and first I was just talking about law enforcement stuff. I have a law enforcement background, so I just started talking, putting the real story out there because no one had the real story from what I could see. So I just started talking. Originally I put myself out there as the cop with attitude because I say what I gotta say. And after a while, I started using my name, Zeek Arkham, and people just started agreeing with me, and I started seeing my follower count go up. And I put a video out talking about Colin Kaepernick and just pretty much calling him on his bullshit. And I jumped from, I think I had 1,000 followers to 14,000 overnight. Never thought it would take off the way it did. Yeah. And I just started talking more. And the more I talked, and the more I tore down some of the sacred pillars, the more people just started flocking to me. And I really, honestly, I'm so grateful and thankful for everything I've got. And I guess that's why I'm humble about it, because I never set out to be this voice. And I've been on podcasts. I've been on Charlie Kirk's podcast. I went. This year I did Timcast. I got to go to the White House, which was huge for me. This
Oh,
kid
wow.
from South Jamaica, Queens, is standing in the White House, 10 feet away from Donald Trump as he's addressing Black History Month. So, it's just all just humbling. I'm always so grateful and thankful for everyone who has amplified my voice. And I always try to say that. I always try to say, hey, listen, I'm here where I am because you guys have all amplified my voice and you guys have all given me a platform. So, that's basically where I am today.
Yeah, I gotta give you some applause on that. I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, I'm really, really happy for you, Zeke. We kind of have similar histories. I had been, although my thing was I'd always been like a loudmouth or like from the left. I had been in like Democrat circles for the longest, and then in 2022, well, really towards the end of 2021, after my account had gotten snatched for refusing to call a man a woman, and I got locked out of my account for about 119 days. And then what ultimately turned me from I'm a Biden voter, a regretful Biden voter. I came in at the beginning of 2022. I started reading about some of like the real details of just how bad the Afghanistan withdrawal was, and like how intentionally bad it was. And then I said, I'm tired of it. I'm sorry I supported the Biden administration. I'm sick of this. And I had all like my follower count had been like around 4,000 at that point. And then I jumped up to somewhere around, I want to say like 25 or something like that. Like that was like 3 years ago. And then like back in February when I did that like super viral video that was retweeted by like Elon and who else retweeted that? Bill Ackman and Alex Jones and all that. I went from 47,000 to like 150,000 overnight. It's insane. Like there's the point I'm trying to make is people want to hear from those of us who strayed from the norms of what they would expect from guys like us. Okay. So what was that like for you? Like, have you always been conservative, or was there a point in your life where you were where you were like kind of an unquestioning Democrat? But what was that like for you?
No, I grew up with two typically Black parents, man. My mom grew up during the civil rights struggle, so for her, everything was focused on race. My father was a Black Israelite, one of the dudes you see in Times Square being all angry.
Your dad was a Black Israelite. No shit.
Yeah, dressing up, more towards the later part of his life, but he
I see.
He was one of those guys who, you see him, they're just angry and they read the Bible verses and they sound angry, read the Bible verses. They're like, John 3:16.
Yeah.
It can be like, it's like,
God so loved the world.
One of those guys.
Those guys are funny, man. I used to see them on my public access in Connecticut. The Big Payback was the show, I think it was called. It was a public access show, and they were doing, I think it was in New York, I assume, and they were doing the Black Israelite thing and calling white people white devils and shit like that, and saying that Black people are the real Israelites or something like that. It was kind of their thing.
I remember the first time I saw them dudes here in New York.
Intense, man. They're intense.
The first time I saw them here in New York was this is the when I lived up here back in like 2008. I remember they was in Times Square just going like I've never, like you said, like Romans 5 chapter 8. I've never seen it read so fervently. For God commended his love to all of us, and that while we was yet Sinners. And then you see like 5 dudes in the back. Sinners.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Militant, very militant.
But yeah. So your dad was a black. I mean, I don't want to make fun of you because my.
Oh, you can make fun of him all you want. He and I have no.
So would that be like a left wing then, a Black Israel? Like that's kind of ambiguous. Like what side would he be on politically, more or less? Like, what do you think?
He was more Democrat than anything because he didn't like the Republicans. I know that he didn't like white people.
That's common with the Black Israelites.
Yeah, he referred to them as Europeans. He refused to say black and white. Black people were Africans and white people were Europeans, that kind of thing. So that's how
they used to say that the white people were I think the sons of Esau or something like that. Or
something like that. Yeah,
because they had red hair and stuff. That's what they used to say. I'm just getting all these memories.
Yeah.
For the most part, I would tune them out just because a lot of my friends in high school were white, and I was like, they don't bother me, So, but then I went into college, and college is basically a liberal training ground.
Yes.
Where I had about 3 professors who were like hardcore. We don't give a fuck about what the lesson is. We're just going to indoctrinate you.
Yeah.
One guy was
far left indoctrination, man.
One guy was like a hardcore like socialist. One of my professors, where he didn't even have like a textbook. He would just kind of walk around the desk and just indoctrination after indoctrination. So, I had that kind of thing going on. So I left college, and I think I know more than anybody. And I became a cop. And this was around the time Obama was coming into office. Bush was there, Obama was coming into office, and I was a two-time Obama voter. And I had sort of started to come around to more right-wing stuff anyway, just because I started talking to a lot of cops. I thought I was going to get into the job and blow the whole system up, and I found out cops really don't care about race. Cops just say they care about good and bad. So I started talking more about. I started hanging out with cops, and then I saw a documentary called "Runaway Slave," which really just amplified how I felt at the time. And then I always credit Obama. I gotta give the man his due. Obama red pilled me because Obama was so horrible and lied so much and was just so hateful that I started coming around more to conservative points of view.
When did not to cut you off, but like let's talk about that. I want to hear more about this. I want to hear more about this.
What lies exactly? Because I didn't know about this.
Remember the whole Cambridge police incident he had
with Henry Louis Gates?
Yeah,
I don't know about that. We want to refresh our memories.
Basically, Henry Louis Gates had a burglary or something, or a call for a burglary at his house, and he got into it with the cop who responded. The cop, I think, was asking him for ID so he could prove he lived there, and which is like standard police procedure. If I get a burglary call right now at my house, I provide ID. Yeah, no, this is me. I live here. Oh, okay, fine, well, good. And then but he basically got into it with Henry Louis Gates, where Henry Louis Gates refused to provide ID and was belligerent towards the cop, and he wound up getting arrested. Henry Louis Gates wound up getting arrested. And it turned into a whole big thing, and Obama said the cop acted stupidly. And then Obama admitted he had no idea what happened. He just basically took his friend's side.
Exactly.
And they had beers at the White House. Yeah, he invited the cops to the White House and said they could have a beer. But I started looking into that, and I was like, just knowing standard police procedure, I don't think the cop did anything wrong. I mean, did the cop probably, escalate things a little bit afterwards, because his authority had been challenged? Sure, sometimes you just gotta take the L. But initially, I don't think the cop did anything wrong. He was following standard police procedure, So that kind of started to really sour me on Obama. And then I was listening to some of the things he said, some of the racial things he was saying about how black folk experience this in America and white people just don't get it. That was his line. White people just don't get it. I was listening to some of the things Michelle Obama would say. Like Michelle Obama just would complain over and over again about how oppressed she is. Meanwhile, she's the first lady of the United States. So I proudly voted for Obama the first time.
Yeah, me too.
And kind of held my nose the second time I voted for him, just because I voted for him more the second time, just because I didn't trust Mitt Romney, which I guess my instincts were right.
Good move.
Yeah, really good move. I just didn't trust Mitt Romney. Any politician who makes a display of, oh, hey, look at me, I'm buying my own groceries and I'm putting them in my own car. Hey, look at me, everybody. I'm just like
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
I don't trust any politician who does that. Listen, if you're rich, be proud you're rich. You know, hey, yeah, I'm rich. You know, right now I make $8 million. You know, don't worry about it. So, for the same reason I couldn't bring myself to vote for John Kelly. You know, because he did the same thing. Hey, look at me, I'm just like you. Meanwhile, Mike's a billionaire. After that, I just really started doing more research, and I started trying to figure out what was going on in the world. I had a friend who said to me that more right-wing conservative views line up with more of what happens in the real world. And I was out to disprove them, and wound up red pilling myself.
Wow.
So I the more I looked into it, the more I said, you know what, I guess I'm part of the right-wing conservative movement. So I was posting on my personal Facebook page for a long time and pissing off all my friends and family and relatives. And
I know that feeling.
I'm going through that right now.
And then once X opened up and started going into it, I started posting. And this is actually like my third X account, because the first two I really wasn't getting much traction, and I kind of abandoned them. And then this one I said, you know what, I'm just going to post, and who cares what happens. And here we are.
There we go. It's so funny because like I'm going through that right now with on my own personal Facebook page, like guys I work with, and it's like I've never seen this. It's like when I was a hardcore pro-Democrat black man from 2009. Like I was a faithful Democrat voter from 2008, which is because I voted for Obama, same as you, voted for Obama in 2008, voted for him in 2012. And then I voted blue in 2016 and 2020. So I voted for Biden. I voted for Hillary, and I voted for Biden. And the whole time that I was this pro-Democrat black guy, and shout to Sonny Johnson for coining that phrase, pro-Democrat. I give that woman props every time I use that. Because honestly, that phrase cuts to the heart of why I'm so disgusted with our people when it comes to politics. Because literally, like black folk invented vote blue no matter who. But anyways, the whole time that I was that I was this faithful Democrat, voting, like no one had a single problem with anything I was saying. No one had a problem. Everybody was just kind of like going along with it and nodding their head or just going up or putting likes on or whatever. As soon, and I mean as soon as I started talking about what the Democrat Party was doing to us as black people, that's when I started getting the nasty grams, and people forgot all about it. It's like everybody just caught collective amnesia. I've already been unfriended by several people who I've known for like damn near 20 years.
Yeah.
And it's incredible to me. It's like now don't get me wrong. I can be on Facebook. It's a little different because I know these people, so it's like I do tend to get a little bit nasty. I'll admit it. I called this one guy I've known for 20 years. I called him a fucking retard. I did. I called him a retard because it's like no, I'm serious because it's like you again. It's like you said nothing and were okay with me. Like he said to me, what did he say to me? He was like, because I wrote a statement talking about masks. There are people like out here right now, Zeke, 5 years later, still wearing masks, still saying COVID is not over. Like I call them branch COVIDians. And as soon as I said, I'm not, like, if you're wearing masks, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to speak to you. And I started saying that they don't work. He goes, well, what medical school did you go to? And I said, oh, so I need to go to medical school to read a paper.
Yeah.
Trust the experts, man.
Trust the expert. Yeah. Trust. So it's like, if I have a medical degree, so I would need to have I would need to be a doctorate to learn, to read a paper or to actually speak as a quote unquote expert on the topic, because experts are just never wrong.
Yeah.
What when did you start seeing that, Zeke? Like this worship of expertise?
I like to get my information from people who can't tell me what a woman is. First of all, those are the kind of people that I feel like know something about life when they can't even tell me what a fucking woman is.
But no,
that's how I feel. Like if for example, I've said before. Okay, well, and I say especially the black folks. I say, well, guess what? Can Rachel Dolezal be black? Can Sean King be black? You know what? Then that settles it. Rachel Dolezal is black. Sean King is black. Eminem tomorrow, if he wakes up, he's black.
Mm-hmm.
And they all go, well, no, it
Why
doesn't
not?
work like that. Well, then you know what? Race is more of a spectrum than gender is.
100%.
So if you're going to tell me that Eminem can't be black and Rachel Dolezal can't be black and Sean King can't be black, but you're going to tell me that Dylan Mulvaney can be a woman, everybody else can be a woman, then you got to figure something out, because one can't be true. One can't happen and the other can happen. No, then it's got to all be together. So I usually trip up black folk on that part. Hey, listen, those are rules. That's what you said. That's what you said. You said if he believes he's a woman in his heart, then he's a woman. So that means that Rachel Dolezal, if she believes she's black, then she's black. And they always
exactly. And it kills me, because I remember, you know who I blame for that? Who I blame for that whole transracial nonsense? Melissa Harris Perry. Remember her?
Sounds familiar.
Melissa Harris Perry. Let me tell you about that. So, Melissa Harris Perry, the former Melissa Harris Lacewell, she used to have a show on MSNBC in the morning. She was basically the first. She was the prototype for Joy Reid. Okay. Used to have a whole bunch of like black Twitter celebrities and whatnot on her show. A few in particular, like they would just come on there and just talk shit about Barack Obama, because because that's all like the commies and the real deal leftists. That's all they do. The true believing left, the communists, they just go at. They never really go hard at right wingers. They know that they can go with Democrats, because Democrats just lay down and give them whatever the fuck they want. So anyways, I will never forget when Melissa Harris Perry started talking about Rachel Dolezal. Okay. And her show was the first place that I had heard of the term transracial.
Okay.
I was hearing more about, bro, dead ass. I was hearing more about transracial than I was transgender at one time. Okay. And people like Melissa Harris Perry, because I'm going to say this, it's going to sound disrespectful, but I'm not taking it back. It seems that the role of black women within the liberal movement is to simply be the mule, to simply move the agenda forward. There's a reason why the arrow on the Progress Pride flag is black. The first one is black. Okay, and it's because they are the blade of the plow. They are the ones who drive the movement forward. So anyways, so MHP gets on there, starts talking about transracial. And of course, it was only just a matter of time before she talked. Like, I think she did this right before she was canned from MSNBC, started talking about transgender. But I was hearing about, like, she was caping for Rachel Dolezal and that whole concept of changing your race before anybody else.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was crazy.
Caping for Rachel Dolezal.
Caping for Rachel
What
Dolezal.
a thing to do.
Why do you think that is, Zeke? Because well, and when I ask that question, like you see so much in like I'm trying to figure out the right way to ask this question. In the Democrat movement, Black women are pedestalized. We're going to get into your baby mama in a minute. But boy. But my question to you is, why has there been such a push? Like, we see the Jasmine Crockett's, we see the Joy Reids, we see all of these Black women elevated, and they've been elevated from the days of Black women are the backbone of the Democrat Party. We've been seeing this for a while, but why do they persist in this? Especially when we all know that, especially when even they know that white women are the ones who are really in the driver's seat, so to speak, in the Democrat Party.
Because Black folk can get lied to over and over and over again, and they just accept it. It's an abusive relationship that the Democrats have with Black people just in general, but especially Black women. Black men are starting to wake up a little bit. Like we saw the last election, more Black men went out there and voted for Trump, because they're starting to wake up, fine, well, and good. But Black women are holding on tight to the Democrat Party. And the reason is because they're lying to these people and telling them, hey, listen, just like LBJ did in the 60s, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take care of you. We have you. You're a strong mother. You're going to do this. And we're going to stand with you. You're going to do that. You don't need a man. Forget about those men. You don't need them. You're strong. You're powerful. You're a strong Black woman.
Sounds like Democrats are really good at gassing them up.
Oh yeah, no, hey, listen, when you ever see a liberal white woman, there's a liberal white woman who went viral with her video, and it said, "When Black women speak, this is what I do." And she took like some tape and put it over her mouth, and she pulled out a page, and she's like ready to write down their little.
Oh my God!
It's too much.
There's a whole thing going on. You could throw a stick, figuratively, and find a bunch of white women talking about how much they love and adore and want to learn from Black women. So they're really good at jazzing them up. They're really good at saying, this is who you are. Even David Hogg, who's kind of a white woman himself, recently
especially with them fucking arms. Have you seen that dude?
Yeah,
that guy.
But he just finished saying that Jasmine Crockett's the future of the Democratic Party. Yeah. So I mean, they're really good at jazzing them up. But what has the Democrat Party done in return for Black female votes? They haven't done a thing. You look at BLM, who got hundreds of millions of dollars in donations, haven't done a blessed thing for anyone in the Black community but themselves. They bought themselves houses, they bought themselves mansions, they put their baby daddies on the payroll, but haven't done a blessed thing for the Black community. Haven't started one college fund, haven't started a business fund, haven't renovated a neighborhood or a building, or haven't done a blessed thing. However, they're still seen as something that's wonderful within the Black community. Hey, listen, you have to contribute to Black Lives Matter, BLM. They're a powerful movement, So the Democrat is in an abusive relationship, and they continue to just lie to Black women. And Black women, because they're being fed these compliments at the same time, just eat it up. It's all emotion. But there's no substance.
Yeah. See, I gotta say, man, I disagree with you though, man. I mean, Democrats have done stuff for Black women. I mean, didn't they bring out Megan Thee Stallion for like an event? I mean, that's
they
worth a vote.
But that's another thing. Can you imagine?
Oh my God!
Let me ask you something. Can you imagine if Republicans, right, if the right had a rally and said, "Hey, listen, we're going to bring out I don't even know who. We're going to bring out this guy, this
Kid Rock.
We're going to bring out Kid Rock, and he's going to do a concert for an hour, and then Trump's going to come behind him and speak for 10 minutes. Like as people are walking out of the venue, Trump's going to come behind him and speak for 10 minutes. But the real appeal is, hey, we've got Kid Rock.
Yeah.
That's it. We just got that's the appeal. No, the right would never fall for that because we want substance. We want to hear what you're going to do for us. We're going to hold you to those promises. We want to hear. But Kamala Harris can get up there and bring out Beyonce, and Beyonce basically stumbles through her speech for 10 minutes. Oh, she can bring out Cardi B, and Cardi B goes out there because I am a woman. I am going to vote for Kamala. She can go out there and do that. Megan Thee Stallion can go out there and twerk for a half hour, and that's seen as outreach towards black voters. She's not going to say what she wants to do, but that's seen as outreach towards black voters. The right would never fall for that. But yet we're the uneducated ones. We're the ignorant ones. So I look at that little comparison, that little hypocrisy that goes on.
I'm just going to be honest with you. I said this a while ago. I get sick and tired, and I'm going to just say it. I get sick and tired of getting called a nigger by the Democratic Party on a regular basis. I'm tired of it because
amongst other things, man.
Amongst other things, right? Like when and here's why I say that. Okay, I tell black folk this all the time. You did when matter of fact, we can talk about Kamala Harris for a second. Because I've said this. I've said I tell black folk all the time, you did not pick Kamala Harris. I say it again. Black folk, you did not pick Kamala Harris. No one picked Kamala Harris, but especially not black people. Yeah. Kamala Harris was selected for you. Yeah. How many times I said that, Zeke? I'm on there all the time. Every single time people say, whenever I see guys like Kenny, too raw, too real, he about as yellow as my drink. Okay, and he get up on there talking about how great and how all powerful Kamala Harris is. Okay, only and then like the thing is, she was selected for black people. We talk about a woman who did not once claim her Jamaican heritage until, she talked about her Jamaican heritage twice. The first time was to get the Negroes in line to come vote for. But before that, and this is in Jamaican papers, my fiance put me on to this. She highlighted her Jamaican heritage to get marijuana decriminalization passed in California. Her family fucking disowned her after that. I'm dead. I will show you. Wow. I will, if you want to see it, I will show you the link in the Gleaner where that piece was. It was embarrassing, but because I feel like this, the Democrats knew, and maybe you can back me up on this if you see the same thing, Zeke. Democrats know that they've just effed over black people constantly over and over again for the past 60 some years. And now you bringing in these illegals from over the southern border. I see it all the time here in New York, in the city. Okay. You got black folk and you got all these illegals that they were putting in these in the shelters. Where I live right now, there are 3 homeless shelters, 3 big ones. Okay. They used to be stacked with illegals. Okay. And then of course the hotel, like the Roosevelt and the Roosevelt over by Grand Central and the Row on 8th Avenue. So we're watching what I've called a dry run of the Great Replacement happen in real time. And I think they know that enough black people are taking notice that they're watching all this happen. So now you see people like Kamala Harris and all these other, and then all the celebrity endorsements that black people would normally gravitate to. Why do you think the Democrats are still persisting in doing this? And have you noticed a sense of desperation when it comes to these people, when it comes to the Democrats, and when it comes to losing the black vote?
Well, look at what they're doing right now. They're going to El Salvador to try to fight for some wife-beaten gang member to get brought back to the United States. They've completely forgotten about black folks. I've said this over and over and over again. when black folks are always whining about, oh, my reparations this, your reparations went towards the illegals. Your reparations went towards giving them cell phones and putting them on planes and giving them hotel rooms and everything. So if you were ever going to get reparations, which I am against, by the way, if you were ever going to get reparations, that money went towards the illegals. Remember how your mama used to take you to the store, you have $5 in your pocket and you wound up ordering all kinds of stuff, and then your mama, you ask your mom for your $5 back, and she goes, "Oh, you ate your $5." Yeah, that's what happened. The Democrats, they used up all whatever reparations money they could possibly have put aside for the illegals. And I told them all the time, man, where they put these illegals? In your neighborhoods.
Yeah.
What programs do they give the illegals? Your programs.
What programs.
What schools do they put the illegals in? Your schools.
Yeah.
So they basically told you to your face, we're putting these people ahead of you, and your dumbass still went out and voted for them and said, you want to call me the coon? You want to call me the guy who would have told on Harriet? Yeah, well, guess what? You said, oh, yes, massa, I still love you. I still love you. Oh, yeah, you can put these illegals ahead of me. I still love you, massa. Oh, you could give these illegals my money that I could have used for whatever. You could have built up my neighborhood. You could have put money into my schools. I still love you, massa. You gave it to the illegals. I still love you. So I'm the coon. I'm the one who's looking for a head pass. They told you to your face that you come not even in second, you come in third, fourth, fifth, and you still went out there and voted for them.
Still pulled the lever for Kamala Harris.
You still went out there and pulled the lever for Kamala because Cardi B twerked on stage, or no, excuse me, because Megan Thee Stallion, I get confused. Megan Thee Stallion twerked on stage because Beyonce told you to vote for her, because Cardi B showed exactly why she's got no education and she was relegated to being a stripper to make money and rob people to make money.
Right.
She went and read a paragraph. It took her 20 minutes to read one paragraph because she's got the reading level of a third grader. Because all these people went out there and told you to vote, you took it as gospel because Kamala Harris said, "Oh yeah, I'm kind of black," and you said, "We'll take it." You went out there and still pulled the lever for her. Meanwhile, Trump has a track record of doing the right thing. Meanwhile, Trump, they had to use an entire legal system to try to set him up to be some sort of felon. They had to literally change laws in order to get him. The same person who changed the law is now trying to say the law is unconstitutional because it was used against him. They had to do everything they could, almost assassinated him. They had to do everything they could in order to stop his progress, and he still became president. And now you're sitting there, we went behind the wrong person. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Ask me to explain it. I can't because I don't deal in things that are illogical.
No.
And to that, I want to say too, before Isaiah, before I forget, it's also interesting that you talked about before how a lot of black men have been kind of turning their backs on the Democrats, but not so much the women. And I think you see that across races. Like you see, it's a big gender divide now, I think, bigger than ever. I think between women continuing to support the Democrats, supporting the left, and most men moving towards the right, I think across races. So that's something that I want to keep in mind as well, and maybe talk about what you think about that. But go ahead, Isaiah.
No, I mean, that's fine. I mean, I just think of the stuff that it makes me angry when I think of just how much the Democrats have insulted black people over the years. It really has. I mean, this is, I show this all the time. This is what they gave us, right? They instead of, when David Hogg, the meeting in which David Hogg got elected, okay, we got this. Go with it. Worst Cupid shuffle ever. That was one of the parties when they voted for David Hogg and that other inoffensive white boy. They did that. They did that little. That was a lame ass Cupid shuffle, and then of course was talking about your boy. These are the black people who they pedestalize now.
We're in the middle of a hostile government takeover. I want to talk about it, but I've been late for work. And if you say, wait a minute, do we have to stop this? We had one, but she didn't want that lady in office. Hostile government.
Off is a direction you can fuck.
Because, I mean, listen, they don't have any real substance. They're not going to tell you, hey, listen, we've got this plan for you. You know, we want to do this to build up your education. We want to do this to build businesses in black communities. We want to do this to renovate your homes. We want to do this to build up buildings and projects within the black community. We want to get you out of those projects and get you into. They're not going to do all that. They don't have a plan for that. So the most they can do is just dance. They can dance. They can sing. They can trudge out some celebrity. It's funny, David Hogg had to step down from his Democrat position because he's a white male, and you can't have too many white males in that position. His own Democrat policies got mentioned.
That's the reason they told people. That's what they told people about.
Which is even more embarrassing. That's even worse.
I'm about to say, that's even
true.
more embarrassing.
That's even worse.
That's
No,
even more
that's the
embarrassing.
better excuse.
They out there and they said that.
I would agree.
I give him more respect if they gave the real reason.
They couldn't
Exactly. They said, hey, listen, dude, you are cringy as hell. No one likes you. And they got there and they said, hey, listen, God, hey, we messed up. We should have done this, you know. But instead, they said the best reason we could give is that we have diversity quotas. That's even worse. That means
that is worse. That is worse.
That means that you
I
are
give you
a
that.
victim of your own party. Your own party said we have diversity quotas and we can't have this guy up here. And then they sat there and they smiled like that was something to be proud of. That's not something to be proud of.
That's
That's
nothing
a
to be
tragedy.
proud of. In fact,
That's a tragedy.
but it's even worse. But think of it. Think of it, right? The real reason why they got David Hogg up out of there is because he got caught embezzling money to his own PAC. To Leaders We Deserve. Yeah, he got busted. No, that boy.
I thought it was because he was questioning things. I thought he was questioning leadership or something like that. That's what I thought
because he was trying to. Okay, because remember, David Hogg is a communist. He is a street animal communist. Okay, remember there are two levels of communists. They are the street animals, who are your true believers. They're the ones who are in the streets with the green and the pink hair and all the rest of it, right? They're the ones waving the free Palestine flag. We'll talk about that a little bit later, right? And then you have the elite level communists, the guys like Tim Walz and guys like like Kamala Harris. Well, Kamala Harris is a street animal she's a street animal who got lucky. But when it comes to David Hogg is a street animal who didn't realize that he was in elite circles. And so what he did was with that pack of his Leaders We Deserve, he was taking DNC money and shipping it over to that pack of his, that super pack of his. And they and they caught him one too many times. They knew he was a liability. But again, to your point, Zeke, the fact that they couldn't even say that, they couldn't go, well, we caught this boy stealing, so we got to get him out of here. And then just to say, like you said, they made him a victim of their own. They held him to their own revolutionary standard, which was we got diversity quotas and everything. You couldn't even do the right thing by your own party at that.
I mean, it makes him look worse by doing that, right? They're like, I mean, they should have just told the truth, or even if it was the power thing, or the he's questioning our leadership or something in ways we don't like. Then we just got rid of. Just that would have been better than saying guys, we have too many white males. Like, I mean, how absurd is that? Like, it's racist, it's bigoted, it's sexist, it's retarded, it's communist. I mean, you go down the line. You said that out loud. That was the excuse. And he was elected a couple months before. So he's wait 3 months to be like, oh wait, forgot about that quota. It's like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Well, remember, this is the Democrat Party who they are so out of touch. It actually would have made sense for them to say, hey, listen, he's embroiled in scandals. We caught him donating to his own PAC, so you know what? Yeah, we're going to let him go because we like accountability for our side. That would have been more respectful.
Right.
It would have actually been beneficial to them to say that, hey, listen, we know we've got this pseudo celebrity who is in charge, but you know what? Because he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, we're going to kick him out. That actually I would have respected that. But they turned around and said, you know what? No, we have a diversity quota, which everybody I think looked them away.
Good
so
Lord.
that's what they got caught doing.
I genuinely despise the fact that they like I said, it's they give us platitudes instead of substance. And we could sit and rip on
but it's just one last thing on that though. It's like think about the fact that they're proud to say that. Like how outside of the Overton window of like what's appropriate and wise and fair and whatever to do to be proud of the fact that like, oh, there's just too many white males in leaders. It's like imagine saying about black people, too many black males can't do it. Too many Latino males. It's like that's ridiculous. And they're proud to say it. That's their PR statement. Bananas. It's bananas.
You know what it reminds me of? You ever see that Democrat Socialist Convention?
Yeah.
Where you have like that Asian females up on stage and it's like
point of privilege.
I've seen that.
Crazy.
There should be no side talking on this side. Some of us have disabilities. And then they the jazz hands.
No clapping. No clapping. It brings back trauma.
Point of privilege, you're not to use gender language. Like that's what they're going towards. And they don't even realize it. That's what they're going towards.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, the reason why they do that again is because, like you said, they've become, they've been imprisoned by their own, by their own revolutionary standards. It's like it's like they believe their own bullshit, basically.
It reminds me of what I just talked about earlier about marriage, right? Because the universities are so far left, they're so in their bubble, and the intellectuals continue to push farther and farther left and come up with the reasons to do it, that nobody who's allowed to talk back to them, nobody who's allowed to question, like, isn't that a little crazy? Is that a little bigoted? Is that a little sexist? Isn't that like you kind of sound like an actual communist right now? But nobody's allowed to say anything. No professors, no students. Otherwise, they'll get they might get thrown out, fired, get a bad grade, won't get the grant, won't get the PhD or whatever. So they've gone crazier and crazier and crazier. The media doesn't correct them. The left-wing media doesn't correct them. All of them, all the newspapers, they just go along with it, and they've gotten very, very, very crazy and unhinged. That's what happened.
I want to just show you this real quick while we're, because this actually happened at the same exact. Again, we're talking about platitudes, and this is replacing like David Hogg for what it's worth. David Hogg wasn't the worst of what the Democrats could have elected, right?
No.
From that same, here's something I want to share. You'll get a kick out of this. This happened the same, and this happened before. Oh yeah, I'm going there.
I don't even know which one you're going to pull up because there's a lot of craziness on the stage, man.
Oh yeah, you'll love this, Zeek. You're gonna love this. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, Democrats. Hey, I am speaking. And I would love your attention. There is a black woman at this podium, and I deserve your attention like the 11 people who went before me. Yes, I am speaking.
Good evening, Democrats. Look up here. 3 strong black women standing before you. 3 black women.
She don't look sure of herself when she's saying that.
Ran for chair.
Te quiero mucho, Papa. Gracias por todo.
Definitely
My
not
name is
English.
Artie Blanco, Freddie Blanco's daughter. Vote for me for vice chair.
Look at this room, y'all.
The Freddie Blanco?
The Freddie Blanco, yeah.
We are our strongest.
I don't know who Freddie Blanco is.
I don't either.
We are in a time in this country when our democracy and our rights are under attack.
What the fuck?
We're at a time where Black and brown people, women, and other
That's
minorities
Florida
are
from
being
Good Times.
blamed for everything that's wrong in this country.
So let's fight
She looked like her
together.
mama's chair.
Oh,
You look like her mama couch.
Democratic
the
Party.
forehead on this chick. Good Lord.
She got a 5 head.
NC.
Look at this.
Let me say something.
Why
Joaquinia.
Over the last several
Clanton.
days, we've seen what happens when we have the wrong people in powerful places. And so today, I ask for your support and elect me as your DNC vice chair because in a time of crisis, leadership matters. My people are sick and tired.
This is the lady that sings,
of
right?
being sick and tired.
No.
Yeah.
We are sick and tired of being the last one hired and the first
With that
one
untamed
fired.
weave and the
We are
eyelashes.
sick
Oh,
and
Lord.
tired of
Jesus. Hold on. Here we go.
Spent the last 15 years fighting for the American people.
All them women.
Go
Hold
on,
on a
girl.
second. Hold on a second. All them. Here go home, girl. You better work, bitch. Here you go.
Go on, girl.
Do to organize, show
Hated
up,
it.
and win. And that is why I'm asking the people who have stood with me in this.
Hold on a second. They talk about they talk about clutching your pearls. Like which one? What's that? How many? Like, bro, look at all that. Look at all that. Like again, like that. Like, no, seriously.
That's excessive.
Like that was the best you had.
No, that's terrible.
That was the best you had.
And just
You
imagine
you played that for a little over a minute. I'm exhausted, man.
I know there's more to it too. But imagine the same strategy, but like say like a white guy came up, Tim Walz or something. It's like, listen to me, I'm a white man. There's a strong white man standing up here. Like it sounds ridiculous, right? It's like I don't understand why there's a different and I don't think there really is actually for most normal people. Everybody's like, all right, we get it. We see what you look like. Who gives a shit? What are your ideas? What are you gonna do for people? What have you done? What's your resume? Why do we got to announce what our race is and our gender every fucking time we talk? It's ridiculous.
Well, didn't Tim Walz say that the reason Kamala Harris picked him was because he knows how to speak in code to
Yes.
white male voters? Didn't he say something like that?
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yes. He said that himself.
Unbelievable.
He said
This
that
dude
himself.
can't load his firearm, and he thinks he's got the secret code.
Yeah, he's the alpha male whisperer.
As a listen,
Bananas.
as a guy who I still remember a headline from 2017 when somebody, I think his name is Damon Young, when he wrote a piece in The Root called "Straight Black Men Are the White People of Black People."
Oh yeah. I remember.
I remember that. Yeah.
See, I still remember that. Okay. And now that piece was written 2017. So now here we are 8 years later, and people who the same people who would go like this to that piece are now running the Democrat Party. Or at least they're the ones, or at least they're the one. I won't say they're running the party. They are the ones who are pedestalized by the party. They don't talk to middle class guys like me. They don't talk to heterosexual middle class guys like me who, make a decent, who try to make a decent salary, who, union job, guys who stay out of trouble. Okay. They don't know how to talk to us. But they want to talk to but they want to talk to it's like they want to talk to everybody else but us, like everybody else but the ones who are actually building and trying to, make the world a better place for
Isaiah,
future generations. Yes, sir.
The problem is, to your point, the problem is they can't talk to anybody who sees through their bullshit. And that's almost everybody. They got to talk to the people in the DI bubble, the woke bubble, the critical theory bubble, LGBTQ woke bubble, whatever. They got to talk to them because working men, working women, conservative men, conservative women, libertarians, anybody who's not in that bubble are like, what the fuck are you talking about right now? What are you talking about? Like, get away from me with this nonsense.
Yeah.
They have to talk they got to talk to each other. That's
So I like to say that the left needs medals, like in the military or in law enforcement. So if you are a queer, free Palestine, Muslim, bisexual female who's got a transgender kid,
Mhm.
you're like the final boss. You know,
Yes.
the more stuff you can add to your little lapel, you
Yeah,
become
yeah.
the final boss. And then it's like, listen, we all have to listen to this person because this is who they are. You
Yeah,
know, so Gary's the right. You can just, hey, listen, come with us with facts. Just sit down and talk to us, and we'll see what you got.
So, I want to get your thoughts on something that happened this week.
Wait. Let me. Hey, Isaiah. Let's say.
Yes,
I want to get Zeke's thoughts on that question I had before we skip over. Real quick, Zeke. What do you think about that? Like the gender divide? Because I mean, unless I'm pretty sure that's a thing with the the push either voting to the left, voting to the right. People who move towards Trump across races. There's been a lot, and mainly it was males. And CNN's made a big point about that. Why do you think that is?
Honestly, I think men, just in general, are more fact driven, and women are more emotional. And I mean, listen, there are women out there who are more fact driven, but I think overall, I think women are just a little bit more emotional as far as who they're going to vote for. So you can appeal to women by, putting up images of the right doing horrible things, and they're going to fall for it more than men would, just because men, simply just by science, aren't as emotional. I think that's the best answer I can give without having my wife watch this and I got to sleep on the couch for the next couple of weeks. I think that's the best thing I can say.
I hear that. I do want to ask your thoughts on something that happened earlier this week. I want to talk about what happened with Trump in the Oval Office, another epic moment in the Oval Office this past week with President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa.
Oh yeah.
This was quite literally one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was great. I love it.
He greets the president of South Africa, and the press. I'm just setting this up a little bit because I know I'm pretty sure you've seen this, but I want to just go through this with you. The guy asked a question. This one journalist asked a question, and he's so smug about how he's like, well, I can answer this for the president of the United States, and then Trump just calmly goes, I'll a matter of fact, I won't give you any more. I'm just gonna hold on, let me see if I can just find it.
Show him the footage.
Yeah.
No, it was great. Yeah, because Trump's like, all right, yeah, let him talk. Let's see what he says. I got the video ready.
Hold on.
That was brilliant, man.
I'm trying to find like the actual. Give me a sec, because I'm trying to find the full exchange. Here we go. We go. Got it. All right. Bear with me 1 second. Let me set it up. All right. So bear with me 1 second. We're kind of doing our own production here, my brother.
I get it. Trust me. I get it.
Zeke, what do you got in the background there above your head? Are those badges
what's that about?
Patches? These are my challenge coins. I've traded them with cops all over the country. I've picked them up. I usually just different people I've worked with.
Challenge coins? What are these? What are those exactly?
They basically started as a military thing to show where you've worked and you show them just to sort of say, hey, listen, I work here. Let me into whatever. That's where the challenge point. That's where the challenge part comes in. Because someone will say, hey, listen, show me proof you worked here, and you could show your challenge coin, and then it was sort of co-opted by law enforcement. So I've been pretty blessed to be able to work with tons of units from all over the country, from overseas, and I've got one challenge coin rack here. I've got another one over here.
You got a lot.
And yeah, I mean, like I said, just through this experience and just through my job, I've just been able to work with agents and officers from all over the country, and it's just my sort of I guess tribute to all of them.
That's cool.
How long have you been in law enforcement total?
19 years.
God bless, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
God bless.
Zeke, you've been spending you been working most of your time in Long Island, or?
Yeah, all over the tri-state. Yeah.
Okay. You work in Connecticut or no?
Yeah, I've been to Connecticut a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So here's the exchange. I'm gonna start right from. I'm gonna start. This is just.
I love these
chef's
Oval Office meetings now, man. They're
yeah,
fun.
man. Hold on. Here we go.
What would it take for you to be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa?
Well, I can answer that for President.
Imagine how haughty. Imagine how ridiculous you have to be. Like how self-assured you have to be to think that you can answer over the president of the United States.
That might backfire.
It's just a little bit. Just a little bit. Hold on.
It's, for him, no, seriously. I'd rather have him answer. Yeah, I'd rather
The president will respond to you. Thank you, Mr. President.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here. When we have talks between us on the quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question.
Now, I'm gonna pause it right there, because see, there's something I just want to go over real quick, because I want to play this.
The question of land, the land of our forefathers and our foremothers must return to our people without any fail and without any payment of compensation. And it must happen now.
Now, mind you, I just wanted to add that bit of that bit of context. So when I see that, right, like when you see, what are your thoughts on that so far? What are your thoughts about that so far?
Well, I love how Trump was looking at him like, "Oh, I'm gonna let you keep playing yourself because I got receipts, bro."
Exactly.
I got receipts. I mean, just the fact that he spoke out of turn. But you know what? I almost can't be mad at them. Like, you know, Trump, not Trump, this guy,
Ramaphosa,
yeah, whatever his name is, Amistad, whatever his name is. I can't be mad at them. Zelensky, this guy. You know, I can't, because they're used to dealing with Biden. They're used to saying whatever they want, and Biden was he was in a whole other world somewhere. He had no idea what they were even talking about. So they would say whatever they wanted to say, spew whatever lies they wanted to lie, and Biden would let them go, and here's a couple of $1 million, and take that with you for your troubles, Trump and Vance have said, you know what? No, we're not going to let you just get away with whatever you want to say. We got receipts. We're going to hold you accountable. And you know what? I don't care that South Africa and this guy's supporters don't like us. I don't care that Zelensky doesn't like us now. I don't care that Canada or Mexico doesn't like us. You know what? They look out for their own country. They look out for their people. Trump is looking out for Americans. That's what I voted for, and that's what I want.
And here is how Trump, in my honest opinion, and I share that opinion of yours. This is how he's looking out for. This is how he's looking out for the people of the United States. And
farmer genocide.
Hold on a second.
That is the answer to your question.
Here we go.
But Mr. President, I must say that we have wait. We have thousands of stories talking about it, and we have documentaries, we have news stories, and that is Natalie here? Somebody here to turn that?
Here we go.
Show you a couple of things, and I have to. It has to be responded to.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would, and turn the lights down. Turn the lights down. And just put this
bricks already. Look at that.
Oh,
snap. This parliament can do, with or without you. People are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. South Africa occupy land. That's who we are.
Now, I do want to show that video because the White House did release that video that they set up. You've seen, I do want to go over that with our audience, but I want to just let me just jump up a little bit ahead here.
Kill the boa.
Very bad. These are those couple 1,000 of
Oh wait. This isn't quite yet. Hold on, let me.
I'd like to know where that is because this I've never seen.
So,
okay. I mean, it's in South Africa.
So hold on a second. I'm trying to find the part where. Here we go.
What are you talking about?
Here we go.
President of the Pentagon announced it would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One.
What are you talking about? What are you
talking about?
You to get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay?
For those of you who aren't aware of this particular situation, what happened was Peter Alexander of NBC News tried to change the subject by asking about the jet.
Yeah.
He was essentially, what he was trying to do was he was trying to bail out President Ramaphosa, who had just gotten caught red fucking handed.
Yep.
So my thought, so Zeke, I want to hear your thoughts about this. And while you do that, while you give your thoughts, I'm going to set up the actual video so people can see just how, like, the wickedness of these people. But what are your thoughts about that exchange?
Like I said, I enjoyed all of that because he didn't let this guy get away with outright lying in the White House. He said, listen, I got receipts. There's a reason why we had to bring your farmers here to the United States, and we did it the right way. There was no jump in the fence. We did it the right way. And he sat there and he lied, and Trump choked him with his own words. This is what you did. And it was so bad, his own people couldn't even look at the television screen. I saw that part. They couldn't even look at the telephone because they had gotten caught red-handed. It's like in police work. The guy who said, no, it wasn't me. And then you show him the video, yeah, it was you. And won't you sit there and try to, what I really meant was, what you meant was what you said. And it's right there on video. I'm glad Trump called Zelensky out. And now the news media, because they've backed themselves into this anti-Trump spot, now have to try to figure out a way that they can bail this guy who is a hardcore racist. They've now got to figure out a way that they can go against their own instincts and against the truth right there on video and try to make this into an anti-Trump spin. Because God forbid they ever say, hey, Trump was right about this. Now they've got to go and they've got to bend themselves backwards and into a pretzel to try to make this some sort of spin. So the next day on the newspaper, Trump humiliated himself. He humiliated Americans. He ambushed the South African president. That's the most they could say. What they couldn't say was that Trump was completely 100% right about the whole thing. And he exposed this guy for exactly who he is. And he didn't let him get away with anything. Biden would have let him get away with it. Biden would have smiled for the camera. Biden would have stumbled out of there. Trump didn't do any of that. And you know what? I'm 100% glad. And that's exactly what I voted for.
Yeah, same here. Biden would have shook hands with the air.
Yeah,
that's what Biden would have done. Some are saying this young lady here, Salty Slay, says love Trump's resolve. Some are saying the video is from a different country in South. a different country in South Africa. Well, the Republic of South Africa is where we're talking about. And no, the video is has been verified to have originated to be footage of South Africa.
Yeah, she might have meant like Southern Africa, like another country in the southern part of Africa.
Like it wasn't Angola or Zimbabwe. No, this was like, and that's the thing. The one thing that I've noticed, and matter of fact, I'm glad I want to hear your thoughts on this too, Zeek. What I've noticed is that apparently genocide, like if you notice, they want people to focus on the color of things. And here's what I mean. White people are the only ones, according to the left, white people are the ones who do the genociding, not the ones being genocided.
Because of genocide plus power.
Okay. Yeah, because genocide means power. So if you notice, that's why they're so quick to talk about, the whole Israel is quote unquote genociding Palestine, genociding Palestinians, whatever those are, because conveniently leaving out the fact that 1,200 Jews, 1,200 Israelis were genocided in a weekend. They killed 200. They killed over 200 Israelis at that concert in the south of Israel. 1,200 in the kibbutzim, in the little villages in that area. Hamas slaughtered 1,200 people. But like that wasn't a genocide.
That's okay because oppression and
that's decolonization.
Yeah, and because remember, brown people good, white people bad. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
wait a second. Do we have? Hold on. Wait. Do we have? Yeah. Get out. This guy Taraj, whatever. No. Get out. You can go. We no. I'm not entertaining paleo communists here. I'm not entertaining that. 1,200 Israelis were exterminated and hundreds were taken captive. I'm not doing this with y'all. Because essentially what's happened since October 7th of 2023 is you guys catching the consequences of your own actions. I'm not doing this with y'all. I'm not doing this with you watermelon communists. But anyway.
Well, let's stick to South Africa. We don't
I'm gonna stick to South Africa. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to that. Because we're gonna talk about that in a second. We'll talk about that in a second. I don't want to,
brother.
Yeah. Sorry. Anyways. Nah, man. No.
Where the hell?
Yeah. So no. Oh, I got taken out my element for a second. I don't like them. But anyways, get it. So, in fact, that actually plays into my point, where white people are the ones, fairer skin are the ones actually doing the genociding, according to these people. Anything brown, if it's brown, it can't do any wrong. So here you have the situation where you've got guys like what's his name, Julius Malema, who's the leader of a political party, a communist political party in South Africa, and you're going to see him a lot in this video that I'm about to play.
He's like an old school communist, man.
This is a Viva Frey. Hold on a second, Viva Frey sent people over here. Viva Frey over on Rumble. We've got people from Viva Frey's Rumble Rumble channel shouting us out. Viva, thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Viva's a Canadian conservative. Fantastic gentleman, that guy. Very, very powerful voice in Canada. They need you, brother. They need you desperately up there, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you for the love. Really appreciate that. But I want to play this real quick because I want you to see this. Thank you, JK92407. Viva Frey sent us over. Thank you, thank you,
Viva.
guys. Greatly appreciate it.
Nice to have
This
you.
is such an honor. This is fantastic stuff.
I'm not sure. I've heard the name. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with this guy.
Viva's been on several shows. I think he's been on with Tim Cast. He's been on I think was he on Alex Jones once? I think he was on Alex Jones. I'm not entirely sure. I know I've seen him on Tim Cast, but he's got like gray and he's got like salt and pepper hair.
Okay,
glasses. Oh yeah, he's a fantastic guy.
All right,
fantastic guy. Yeah, Viva swatted me.
Nice.
This is great. This is great. Thank you, guys.
We got rated by
by.
Viva Frey, man. Okay.
Yeah, man. I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, and H. Share said Alex Jones retweeted. Oh, this is wonderful. Anyways, let me get back to this because this is so popular. Oh, wait. And yeah, he did Steven Crowder also.
Okay.
He did Steven Crowder also. So yes, Viva Fry. I'm sorry.
All right. Well.
Sorry about the. Wait, hold on. Someone said Viva left Canada. He lives in Florida now.
Everybody's moving to Florida, man.
Oh, nice. Yeah, except me. I'm the fucking idiot that still lives in New York.
I'm stuck here, man.
I'm not an idiot because I love New York. I love this place. I've been here for 10 years. All right. So let's do this because I'm finally going to get to this. Here we go.
This fucking guy.
Yeah, here we go. This is Julius Malema.
The guy that CNN's basically defending.
Honestly. Yeah. This is
he's not saying anything.
This is alopecia Poppy right here. This is post Nelson Mandela. Hold on.
There's nothing you can do.
Now hold on real quick before I go further. This is the video that the White House released. I'm going to let this play through so that everybody can see the actual evil that's currently in South Africa right now. Let's go.
There's nothing this parliament can do with or without you. People are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. Yes. South African occupy land. That's who we are.
Honorable member,
you want to do, you can withdraw my membership from this useless parliament.
Honorable.
You are not allowed to talk about occupying land until you grow your eyebrows. Sorry.
Yes, honorable member.
Must never be scared to kill. A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing because the killing is part of a revolutionary act.
It's real communism right here, guys.
That
legitimate.
is matter of fact. Yeah, let me stop right there for a second.
They're even doing the communist shuffle up on stage over here.
Yeah, I need y'all to understand something, ladies and gentlemen. What you just heard when he said we must not be afraid to kill. That
the revolution
is, if anyone, no, there's either one of y'all heard Zeek. Any one of y'all heard of Frantz Fanon?
No, I heard the name. I don't know him though.
So Frantz Fanon was I believe he was Moroccan. He was of Moroccan descent. He wrote a book. He was a psychiatrist by trade, and he wrote a book called "The Wretched of the Earth." He is the one who coined the phrase decolonization. Shout to James Lindsay because I would not have known about Frantz Fanon if it wasn't for him, because he talked about it on one of his New Discourses podcasts. Anyways, matter of fact, it's so funny we're talking about this. Let me just take a quick break from this because I wanna bring this up. Just give me one quick second here. You occupy land. Hold on, because I know where this is. I think it was something on the fifth. Bear with me one second, man, because this is a very, very serious thing, and I want people to understand what what we're up against. I think it was February 5th. Hold on. Because so the Wretched of the Earth. Here we go. The Wretched of the Earth was written by Frantz Fanon. Again, this guy is Moroccan descent. I think, or Algerian. I could be wrong. Anyways, this is a quote of his. Quote, decolonization is the veritable creation of new men, but this creation owes nothing of its legitimacy to any supernatural power. The thing that which has been decolonized becomes man during the same process by which it frees itself. And how do you think it frees? How do you think these people free themselves? They free themselves by violence. They free themselves by inflicting violence and decolonizing. So here we go. I want to read this excerpt from The Wretched of the Earth. And Zeek, I highly, highly recommend you read this book. And here it goes. Quote, the naked truth of decolonization evokes for us the searing bullets and blood-stained knives which emanate from it. For if the last shall be first, this will only come to pass after a murderous and decisive struggle between the two protagonists. That affirmed intention to make the last at the head of things and to make them climb at a pace, too quickly some say, the well-known steps which characterize an organized society can only triumph if we use all means to turn the scale, including, of course, that of violence. You do not turn any society, however primitive it may be, upside down with such a program if you have not decided from the very beginning. Now, I want y'all to pay very, very, very close attention to this, because when you hear this next part, it will make what Julius Malema said make a lot of sense, make a lot more sense. You quote, you do not turn any society, however primitive it may be, upside down with such a program if you have not decided from the very beginning, that is to say, from the actual formulation, of that program, to overcome all the obstacles that you will come across in so doing. The native who decides to put the program into practice and to become its moving force is ready for violence at all times. From birth, it is clear to him that this narrow world strewn with prohibitions can only be called in question by absolute violence. That is the evil in Julius Malema's heart. Zeke, your thoughts?
I mean, listen, there's a reason why they had to do an emergency order to start pulling people from South Africa. It does nothing. None of this surprises me. None of this, I can say, caught me off guard. The only thing I can say is it's the same thing that you have a lot of black liberals say about racism. How they say that black people can't be racist because there's some sort of power structure involved with racism, which is simply not true. It's the same thing that's going on here. Whether one person is looking to wipe out the next person based on their religion or their skin color or anything else like that, evil is evil is evil. So if this guy is promoting evil and he's trying to say it's not evil because of his skin color, that's just an excuse. He's really just trying to pass the buck or pass the blame or absolve himself of any sort of blame. Like he can look at himself in the mirror and say, "Yeah, but I'm good." It's the same thing. And I hate trying to use Godwin's law into this, but this actually applies. It's the same thing Hitler did, where he said, "I'm doing this for the greater good," and it's not evil because of such and such. It's the same exact thing. So he's using this to try to give himself some sort of excuse. I'm glad Trump is called. I'm glad Trump called him out on it, and I'm glad Trump held him accountable. And we have a new White House. We have a new country. So we're not going to just let the okie doke pass us by. We're going to go and we're going to call people out on it. And whether it's Zelensky, whether it's this guy, whether it's Israel in Palestine, Israel, it really is fighting a defensive war because I'm looking at it in any way I can. It's not Israel who's initiating these attacks. It's Gaza. So I mean,
Exactly.
it's whether no matter who it is, we're calling everybody out in their bullshit, and it's time for everybody to really be held accountable.
Yeah, man. This is, in fact, the same guy who we were talking about, Julius Malema. This is him this weekend. Check this out.
Where were you when I'm dead? Where were you when I'm dead? So for sketchy, emoye. So for sketchy, etati, kichi, kichima, kichima. Zibram Konto Alliance. Zibram Konto.
I think he's speaking Swahili or tribal language down there.
Shoot to kill, Kilama. Shoot to kill, Namasa. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. I repeat, kill the poor, the farmer.
Oh, so you know, he's
doubling down.
Right, you doubling down, man.
Yeah.
Killed the down.
I'm just amazed that you had that one thick white girl next to him. Her cardio, she was hitting those high knees like nobody's business.
She was doing Russell Wilson proud, bro.
Yes, I got about 10, 15 of those high knees in me before I gotta go sit down. You know what I mean? So she was getting it.
That just goes to show you how often they're doing that, man, on stage.
Yeah,
on tour.
Yo,
kill the farmers.
There is evil afoot. But I want to add, but want to take a break from that. I want to take a break from that because see, I feel like I've been letting you off the hook, Mr. Arkham. Oh yeah. I've been letting you off the hook. Let's talk about your baby mama, Jasmine Crockett.
Ooh.
Yeah, I want to talk about her for a second because I know you just love yourself some Jasmine Crockett. So today at 3:55 p.m., your homegirl, the homegirl Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett.
Oh boy, everybody's favorite sister girl.
Everybody's sister girl doing this ghetto gaga cosplay. I can't stand her. She brings down the quality of the legislative branch. She dishonors the legislative branch by her presence. But let's see this here. She says, as a matter of fact, she has a video here, and she's like, Trump's big, beautiful bill is bullshit. It's a straight matter of fact, no. I'm gonna read it in her actual voice because there's only one person who I hear whenever she writes something or whenever she talks. There's only one person who I hear. You ready? Zeek, are you sitting down for this one?
I'm sitting down. Let's get it.
Okay, here we go. Yeah. Trump's big beautiful bill is bullshit. It's a straight up scam that abandons working class families and rigs the system even more for the rich. They slash your jobs and gutting the very resources that people need to survive while calling it fiscal responsibility. Call it what it is, a slap in the face to working people.
You doing great, Uncle Ruckus, man.
That's Auntie Ruckus right there, man. So I can't stand her. I'm gonna let her speak it because when she's on MSNBC, you could tell that that it's like straining her not to go into her Alex Soros approved ghetto girl voice. So here we go.
We have seen out of this administration is that they have cut jobs, whether it was within the federal government or outside of the federal government. And what we've also seen is that they don't care about the people that are struggling the most, the people that believe in the American dream, that believe that they should be able to come from anywhere and still have an opportunity at prosperity. So beyond that, beyond the fact that it's just really a cruel bill, it's this idea that they are going to somehow be fiscally responsible when we know under the first Trump administration, they ran the national deficit up $8 trillion. And with this one bill, they want to raise the debt ceiling an additional $5 trillion. So here is the deal. If we have cut off everything that would help somebody, which doesn't sound like a very Christian thing to do, if we're going to do all of that, at least have something to show for it. They have nothing to show for it except for, again, those top earners being able to say, have their next trophy wife or buy their next yacht or get their next plane. That doesn't work for me, and that obviously does not work for my constituents.
Isn't her congressional district up in crime? Wouldn't that help her constituents?
Probably.
And it's funny that the main thing that they can say about this bill is, oh, it's mean. It's mean. It takes away this from this person. It takes away. How about you get up off your ass and start working? That's what the main thing about welfare is. That's what the main thing about all these benefits. You know what? Get up and start working. How about you start doing that? Maybe this bill might incentivize you to get up and go get yourself a job. I know people who are blind that apply to go get jobs. I know people who have legitimate disabilities that sit and try to figure something out. Maybe you should get up. Maybe your disability isn't that you have a real disability. Maybe your disability is that you are a fat 600-pound life contender who can't get up. Maybe if you pushed your plate away every now and again, you could get your big ass up and go get a job. I'm so sick and tired of the whole, oh, the bill is mean rhetoric. Get up and get
the fuck
yourself
does that even mean, though?
No, it's going to take. Maybe you shouldn't be here illegally, and maybe that's where you get your benefits from.
Exactly.
So either do it the right way or get out and go back to your country and get a job there. It's not the government's job to take care of everyone. If you are really disabled and you cannot work, or if you really just do need benefits for a certain amount of time, I'm all for it. But that doesn't mean you now take your benefits and go and buy yourself some shrimp, buy yourself some lobster, buy yourself luxury items for food. No, you can buy yourself luxury items for food when you go and get yourself a job. So I'm failing to see what the huge problem is with this bill.
I don't see what the issue is either. I mean, for me, it's like, okay, I don't know too much about the bill. Okay, I've seen it, like I've seen people discussing it. I know about no tax on tips. I know about no tax on overtime. These are things that would help the middle class. They would objectively help the middle class. They need to get passed. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime got passed 100-0 in the Senate. So why in the world? So one, why are they worried about? So how would no tax on tips and no tax on overtime? How do those things help the quote unquote rich? Is my first question. My second question is, how much, like how long are they going to keep running this whole tax cuts for the rich type thing? When the taxes that are passed, every single tax increase that people end up paying are paid, generally speaking, by middle class and working class people and the poor. Because I know I'm still getting a whole bunch of money taken out of my check. I don't understand. Like here in New York City, we pay what? Almost 9% in sales tax. We pay almost 33% of our income. 33% of our income is taxed. And my thing is, when I first moved up here 10 years ago, I never complained. I didn't used to complain about taxes because I was like, okay, I get it. Living here in New York, you're going to get more services. You're going to get things like your streets cleaned twice a week, or I'm sorry, 4 times a week, and things of that nature. Like, you're actually going to get something that reasonably resembles a working government. They can't even do that anymore. So my question is, and then when you end up with things like congestion pricing, economic apartheid, where regular people have to pay $9 just to drive through, the southern half of Manhattan, who do you think's going to pay that?
I'm so glad I'm on the island. That's all I gotta say. I'm so glad I'm on the island. Listen, this whole rich people bad that the Democrats do over and over and over and over again is starting to lose steam, because people are starting to figure out you could completely take away all of Elon Musk's money, all of the top 10 richest people. You could take away all of their money, and the government would still run through it within 6 months. So it's not the money that's a problem. It's how they're spending it. It's what they're doing with it. So, I mean, it's starting to get really old really fast, and people are seeing through it.
I know it's getting old with me, because I'm like, look, again, y'all had this. First off, I say this as a New York resident. Again, I'm a decade in, and I come from Baltimore. I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. Okay. So just to give you an understanding, sales tax in Maryland is 6%. Sales tax up here is almost 9%. So we talking about a 3% difference. And so it's a big deal, even though, and we talking about 2 blue states. Okay. You don't get half the services that you're supposed to get. And again, all the rich are gonna do, they just gonna pack their shit and move down to Florida. They're gonna pack up and move to North Carolina. They're gonna pack up and move to the Carolinas, to Georgia. They're gonna move somewhere where their money, where they get to keep more of their money. That's all they do. And those of us who can't afford to get up and go, those of us who didn't clear $330,000 in 1 year and can go pay for fucking experiences, we're not gonna we can't just get up and leave and go down there. So what's gonna end up happening? We're gonna stay and we're gonna pay these taxes. So no, that does not work anymore. This whole rich people bad is not going to work anymore, especially when so many rich motherfuckers just happen to vote Democrat. I don't get it. No, it's what I mean, maybe you can speak to that, because I know you live in a blue state too. So
what's that exactly? I'm sorry, I was getting an Uber.
Oh, right, because you got to go. Soon.
I got to head out soon. I probably got to bounce in like 5-6 minutes. What was the question, though? No,
about taxes. Like this whole thing that Democrats have been on for as long as I've been alive. I'm 43. I'll be 43 in June. Like this whole thing about rich people bad. Like, you're not like. How do Democrats think this is going to work when you got these people taking pictures with Alex Soros?
Yeah. No, I mean, look,
when you taking pictures with Alex Soros, when you still riding Bruce Springsteen's broken, impotent jock.
Jesus. Yeah, don't do the boss
you
like that.
You still
man.
ride like come on, man. These Democrats still riding for this dude like it's the 1960s because his party's apparently a bunch of fucking boomers. But what do you think about that, dude?
Like the whole party, is if anybody's the party of the rich people, it's the Democrats now. Anyways, I mean, clearly, I mean, obviously, you see the working class, the middle class, lower middle class, working class, blue collar people, a lot of poor people going more towards the Republicans. But I mean, they're the party of Hollywood. They're the party of most famous musicians, establishment media. PhDs, all the rich people, well-educated people, all the DI consultants that make $300,000 a year, all those people. So I mean, I don't even know what they're talking about, but I don't know. Like, I guess they just count on the fact that they're going to fleece everybody from rich states, and then that those people will leave when they want to leave, or they'll just stick around and keep on paying it. And I'm hoping that there's some more transparency. I'm hoping what Doge has done spreads to the blue states a little more, and local government. Like, I hope we get to see more transparency, so we're not wasting so much money on programs that are terrible. Some programs are needed. Like, I think we need social safety nets. I think poor people who aren't that smart or have been abused their whole lives or whatever. It's really difficult for them to compete, or make a living. So I think we need stuff like that. Single mothers, whatever. But you got to watch out for the fraud, for the abuse, for the all the bureaucracies that they make so much money and they do jack shit. And not only do they do jack shit, they actually literally make things worse. They make things worse. Definitely.
Zeek?
Like I said, the whole rich people bad thing is getting tired. But it's like you said. It's not that they don't like rich people. They don't like the other rich people, the ones that are against them. Because you look at Hollywood. Hollywood's nothing but millionaires. Oh, Democrats love them because they're on their side. Look at Bernie Sanders, who's a socialist, who's a millionaire socialist, and they'll come up with excuses as to why he's okay to be a millionaire. Oh, because it was book sales. Oh, it was this, it was that. Dude's got 3 houses. I believe he's got 3 houses. He's got 3 houses, and he justifies it. And all the Bernie files go, oh yeah, no, it's perfectly reasonable. So the whole class warfare, like somebody says, I saw the comment, the whole class warfare. They're going to twist the truth in order to try to reach out to their supporters, and their supporters are going to eat it all up. And it's the most nonsensical, illogical thing I think I've ever seen in my life.
Especially from the eat the rich people. But hey guys, I'm gonna head out. I gotta go. Zeke, it's been an honor talking to you, brother. I wish I could stay longer, but I bought these concert tickets. I've seen Coheed and Cambria. I bought some tickets like months and months ago, and then Isaiah scheduled you on here, so I appreciate you having the flexibility to come in early today, brother.
Thank you. No problem.
Hopefully we can have you on again, man. It was great talking to you. Maybe we'll meet up with you one day since you're kind of in the area. But
yeah, sure.
But
I would love that. That'd
be sick. We gotta come. We gotta do some kind of like conservative libertarian convention or something in New York. I know they got stuff like that, Young Republicans Club. And stuff.
Man, I would love
Dissident
that.
Dialogues they had last year, things like that. We also get together and meet each other in person. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me again, Isaiah. Zeke, thanks for coming over, and I'll let you guys chop it up. Have a good night, brothers.
No, definitely. Actually, my wife is actually like giving me kind of like the side eye as well. Like,
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well, can I get one more question with
I'm
you?
gonna go, guys. See you.
Absolutely,
All right, go ahead, bro. Enjoy.
Love you guys, man. Later.
All right, later, man. All right. Yeah, let me get one. I do want to talk to you about one last thing.
No, I got a couple minutes, bro. Go ahead.
All right.
Although she is waving the checker flag, but I got a couple minutes. Go ahead.
I got you. Because I'm kind of expecting my fiance to walk through, because what my fiance does is she loves Law and Order episodes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
My barometer is my wife is Puerto Rican, so once she starts speaking to me in Spanish, that's when I know she's really pissed. So while she's talking to me in English, I'm good. That's just a marriage thing. If she's talking to me in English, I'm good. When she switched to Spanish, then it's like, Isaiah, bro, we cool, but
like Zeek, they get to I say I nah, man, I know what that's like. Caitlin Clark, are you into women's basketball?
Well, let me tell you something. You could give me Caitlin Clark, you could give me Brittany Griner, you could give me Angel Reese. I can't name 5 WNBA players. I know those 3. I don't know anybody else. I got you. I see the highlights. Listen, I mean, I made a post I think yesterday. The way they're treating Caitlin Clark is the reason why the WNBA continues to fail over and over and over again.
I think I did post that. Let me just take a quick peek. Go ahead. I'm listening.
You see how they're treating her, and she went out of her way to try to honor Black women when she got her award. I don't know if it was Rookie of the Year or whatever, but she goes out of her way to honor Black women. And we all said to her that was the dumbest thing you could have done because they're not going to recognize that. They don't give a fuck about you honoring them or whatever. And that's exactly what happened. They're still getting in fights with her. They're still saying all these things. Now there's a whole controversy of what Brittany Griner actually said when she was sitting on the bench, whether it was a trash call or fucking white girl or whatever. There's that whole
I saw that.
But listen. Personally, I got my questions about Brittany Griner anyway. I saw that video of her shooting hoops topless.
Yeah, I saw that.
I can do, Chef. That's all I'm going to say. But those were changes. I've never been turned off by a pair of titties like that. So that's all I got to say about that. But
I didn't even see none. I didn't even see that unless that was a new cup -A.
Yeah, listen.
Like what the fuck was that? But
just the way like the muscle structure, it looked like a dude's chest. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But listen, it's you see how they're treating her. You see the jealousy. You see how this is why they're failing over and over again. Yeah. And it doesn't make anybody sympathetic towards the WNBA. It doesn't make me want to watch now.
Nope.
Especially when Angel Reese can't land a layup. So it doesn't make me want to watch it at all. I'm not a basketball fan to begin with. When Michael Jordan retired, I pretty much retired too. But it doesn't make me want to watch. It doesn't make me want to find out who these players are. It doesn't make me dance to their chorus. So no.
Do you watch any sports?
Oh, I'm big into UFC. I love football. I've been an Eagles fan. I took about 2-3 years off once they started doing all the kneeling and the Kaepernick and all that, and I think I got back into it season before last. Mm-hmm. But I do watch sports. I kind of want to see what happens with this whole flag football thing that they got going on.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Look, I'm a Ravens fan. Baltimore all day.
I'll say this: Ray Lewis is my favorite linebacker of all time, so I get it. But yeah,
that man, Ray Lewis. Just real quick, Ray Lewis. So I'm a soccer head. Okay, I'm as well as other things. Like I'm big into sports, but I'm big into the soccer in particular. My hometown club, my forever club, is DC United. Okay, but I also love New York City Football Club. Shout to them. They actually won today, 3-1 up at Yankee Stadium. I like these guys. I like soccer, but on every jersey that I've gotten, I've got like several. I wear the number 52 in honor of Ray.
Right.
Every single, even like I have a Baltimore Orioles jersey. Like I bought a City Connect jersey a couple years ago. Number 52. That is the only number. That is the only number I will wear, and it's because of him. That guy. Okay. That guy. But like, I don't like what's been happening in sport. Okay, and just like what you said, and the thing is, like with you, with the NFL. Just before I go any further, I do have to ask you this: you from South Side? Are you from South Side? Or are you from South Jamaica, Queens?
Oh, that's actually a good question. There's a difference.
Like, do you live below Foch Boulevard? Are you close to the airport, sir? No, but
no, I'm from South Side Jamaica, Queens.
Okay,
so that's why I say South Side. For the uninitiated from the non-New Yorkers, I say South Jamaica because that's that's a whole other area.
Yeah. I'm familiar with it.
South Side is its own. When you're talking to someone who's actually from Queens, and you say I'm from South Side, they understand what you're talking about. And I say I'm from South Side. Yeah.
I used to live, just real quick. I used to live off of 177th and Liberty Avenue.
I know exactly where that is.
Bricktown. I lived in Bricktown. You want to talk about a place that's like far from everything. Yeah, that was when I first got initiated into Queens's wonderful two fair zones. Those are lovely. But here's my question. But before I get into anything, because there is something I want to ask you about. It'll make sense once I get into it. But how are you an Eagles fan and you from here?
Because I was a huge Randall Cunningham fan when I was about 10, 11 years old. I liked him. They had the whole NFL quarterback club and all that, and he was one of the major guys in it, and I liked him. And
NFL quarterback club.
Yeah, it was like a thing like way back in the day, NFL quarterback club.
On Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that game when I was a kid. Wow.
So I remember he was like a main guy in it.
He was.
I was playing the game, and I was like, hey, Randall Cunningham's my dude. And it's just spread to the rest of the team. So ever since I was about 12 years old, I've been a diehard Eagles fan.
So here's why I ask about that, right? I ask about sport because, and also with this, tying it in with soccer here, a club that I used to have a lot of respect for, Minnesota United, MLS club, fairly new, okay, fairly new club, well, new to MLS, we'll say. They came out with this tweet earlier this morning, and I want to just make sure I get it on screen, so bear with me a second. Yeah, definitely want to make sure you see this. Quote, today we pause to reflect on the 5-year anniversary of George Floyd's murder and the powerful call for justice that followed. We are committed to turning reflection into action and building a future rooted in equity and respect within our club, throughout our community, and all across the beautiful game. Now, I hate this because soccer in America has been a hotbed for leftist politics anyways, which is why my goal of more, conservative people getting into soccer it's something I'm a fight for, but we'll just say I'm not terribly optimistic. But with St. George Floyd, which is what I really want to talk about, it still seems that there are people who are insinuating that, I'm sorry, not insinuating, that's the wrong word. Why have I said this? There are still people insisting, is the word I was looking for, insisting that we worship George Floyd and that we consider him this political martyr, even in the light of new evidence. When the whole George Floyd thing first happened, what were your thoughts? What were your thoughts back then about this guy? And based upon the new evidence that's come out, what are your thoughts now? And particularly with Derek Chauvin.
When I was in the academy, one of the things they taught us were that you're in a new era of policing where you have to be very careful about what you do because people are going to record it and people are going to try to paint you as something you are not. And they hammered that into our heads, and they said, you have to be able to account for what you're doing because you don't want to have charges pressed on you when you've done nothing wrong, but the camera is telling everyone otherwise. I hope that makes sense how I said it. So when I first saw the whole thing with George Floyd and Derek Chauvin, first thing I said was he's unaware of the cameras that are there.
Yeah,
he's got his knee. He's basically leaning on them, wherever his knee was, whether it's on his shoulder or whatever. He's basically putting his weight on them. He's leaning on them. He looks very disinterested. You've got George Floyd on the ground screaming. help, he's calling for his mom and all that. Initially, it looked bad. I was one of the people who said it looks bad. I think Derek Chauvin, I saw murder. I was one of those people who said that initially. And then all the evidence came out and the fentanyl came out and his blood levels came out, and then they had a new angle where his knee wasn't on George Floyd's throat. So I changed what I was saying, and I said, I don't think it's murder anymore. Do I think it's a dereliction of duty where he should have gotten him up, where he should have made more of an attempt just to say, hey, listen, sir, I'm trying to help you. George, stop. George, please stop. I'm trying to help you out. Yeah, I think that should have happened. Do I think Derek Chauvin should be in jail over it right now? Over it? I don't think so. I don't think he was trying to murder George Floyd.
No.
I don't even think it's manslaughter, because George Floyd had ingested so much fentanyl that he was going out the picture anyway.
Exactly.
But do I think the optics look very, very bad? Absolutely, yes. And do I think Derek Chauvin should have been conscious of that? Yes. This is just speaking as someone with 19 years of law enforcement experience. Derek Chauvin should have been conscious of that. I've always said, if I were on the scene, I would have done everything I could to make myself look good. Hey, listen, George, I'm trying to help you. George, please stop resisting. George, I'm trying to get you up. I need you to stop. Just more of that going on.
Exactly.
And him staring off into space with his knee on him. And now you've got all this going on. On the same token, do I think liberals, especially white liberals, especially the race grifting black liberals, the Al Sharptons, the Ben Crumps, the Sean Kings, Sean King, I need to see a DNA test before I say he's black. But do I think
you ain't the only one.
Do I think all the race grifters now use this as an opportunity to white knight like hell for especially against Trump? Because now they can say, oh, we're outraged, this injustice, this and that, and Trump supports the cops. So now we can use this as an opportunity to go against Trump. Do I think they did all that? Absolutely. So this was just a bunch of bad situations that came together. So George Floyd does not represent me. He don't represent the millions of black people who get out there and work and
damn sure don't represent me.
Obey the law and don't think the cops are out there to get them. And want to just go out there and live their lives. He don't represent me. I don't need to see his statue all over the place. I got blacklisted off of a television show because I said I think that George Floyd statue, every single one of them should come down. They don't represent me. They don't represent what I stand for. They don't represent my values as a black man, as an American. I had seen no point to have them whatsoever. So this now is just they're virtue signaling this Minnesota soccer club. They're virtue signaling. They're jumping on a bandwagon. George Floyd was wonderful, and he'd be an astronaut right now if it weren't for the fact that this mean, evil cop came along and ended his life prematurely. No, I posted today. George Floyd made bad decisions, and if George Floyd had made better decisions, he would still be alive today.
Exactly.
And you know what? He doesn't represent me as a black man, as an American, and I'm tired of the pandering and the virtue signaling that the left continues to do towards this guy.
Same. And clearly, while you and I are tired of it, they're not. They're not. Because here's the Democrats today, 10 o'clock. They timed this tweet. Today marks 5 years. I'm going to read this in white woman voice. Today marks 5 years since George Floyd's murder, sparking a call for humanity, justice, and accountability that was heard around the world. In his memory, we will never stop fighting to ensure everyone is treated equally under the law. Like, who fucking believes that?
Yeah, like I said, it's their opportunity to virtue signal. That's all.
And it's always. I hate the fact that Democrats really are the party of good is bad and bad is good.
Yeah.
They really have become that. I've never in my life seen a political party so committed to inverting society now. It's like I've never seen it before in my life. It's like they don't care about if things are good, if things work, if things make sense. They're all about, I believe it was who's our boy, Scott Jennings, who's on CNN. It's like they love 80-20 issues, and they love being, it's like on every single issue that's an 80-20 issue, they always take the 20%. I have never understood why that is. Why take the side of the, like, what do you get out of that? What do you get out of raising this debauched man to this position, like elevating and pedestalizing a guy who pointed a gun at a pregnant woman's stomach?
They've got nothing else. I mean, what policies can they build on? What have they truly done? They've got nothing else. It's why Michelle Obama, every time you talk to her, she's got to tell you how oppressed she is and how bad she's got it. It's why Oprah, who was a billionaire a couple times over, will tell you the exact same message. It's why Obama continues to come along like he's just your homeboy on the corner. They have nothing else. All they've got are identity politics.
You've seen that obelisk that they're building out there in Chicago to him? That presidential library that they're building. Have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
Like an idol, like one big gray rock to oneself. It's ridiculous. But anyways, Zeek, I really appreciate you coming on the show, brother. I really do. This has been fantastic. I hope you've had as much fun. I hope you had nearly as much fun as I've had having you on the show, man. I greatly appreciate you. Before we break here, I want to follow this gentleman on X at Zeek Arkham, at Zeek Arkham. What do you have coming up? What do you got in the pipeline working, man?
Oh man, you can follow me at Zeek Arkham, like you have there on the screen, ZeekArkham. You can follow me on Instagram, same handle, ZeekArkham. You can find me over at TikTok at Real Zeek Arkham. I just started my TikTok account a month or two ago.
No, not
listen,
you,
brother. We got to meet them where they are, man. We got to spread the message as much as they can. I've had a whole bunch of people telling me, bro, you got to get on TikTok because we're losing the battle over there.
Really?
So,
okay.
Yeah. So I said, all right, listen, man. I gotta go on the Chinese Communist app. I'll do so. So I'm over. I just started my account over there, Real Zeek Arkham.
Hold on, Real, so REAL.
Real Zeek Arkham, yeah, over on TikTok. I was told my voice is needed over there, and I was fighting it, putting it off for a while, and here I am. But yeah, I got a couple things coming through. Like I said, I'm working with Blexit, which is an honor. Shout out to Dr. Tracy over there who got me involved in them. I got a couple other projects coming through. I actually have a conference call tomorrow. On Tuesday for a documentary I hope to be getting in on. And, I got hopefully some speaking engagements coming through. So, it's just a matter of, you got to get your voice out there. We need people who want to step up and want to put their voice out there. I've already said that the time for being quiet or the time for thinking you're just going to take the high road or, for my conservative Christians out there, I love you, but I'm just going to pray about it is not the right answer because the left is out there making their voices heard.
Oh, yeah.
They want your silence. I get questions every day. Oh, why do you address Brooklyn Dad? Why do you address Jasmine Crockett? Just ignore them. No, they want you to ignore them. They want that more than anything. If you ignore them, they're happy. So you got to get out there. You got to meet people where they are. You got to make your voice heard. Because being the silent majority is not working.
Yeah, them days are over with.
So
them days are over with.
Yeah,
them days are over with. I mean, listen, I will say this: like when I came on to the scene in February, with that, have you seen that video that I was that went?
I saw it. I boosted it.
You did. You did. And like when that video went as crazy viral as it did, I knew then that it was like, there's something here. And like you said, like the time for silence is over with. I mean, I've never seen a group of people dysregulate so fast as when you directly interact with them. They don't like coming into spaces where they can't control. They don't like dealing with people who they can't talk to. They damn sure don't like talking to black men who either don't believe like they do, or they can't literally have sex with. And that's white liberal men or women. So to see these things, to see strong black men taking on the left and going against people who they just automatically assume are on their side is something that I think more of us have to do, especially as the Democrat Party continues to just discard us and discard our voices here. So Zeke, thank you again for joining me, for joining us here on Apostate Radio. And to all of you out there in social media who are listening to us here on YouTube, X, Rumble, especially, shout to Viva Fry. Thank you again for the raid. Greatly appreciate you sending your followers, your visitors over here. Greatly appreciate it. Y'all are more than welcome here any and every time we broadcast Sunday nights, 8 p.m. normally. Here on X, Rumble, YouTube, wherever. Maybe you'll see us do shit on YouTube. Not YouTube. You'll never see us do. Zeke, we have to talk after this about TikTok, because I swore up and down I never put that Chinese spyware on any of my fucking devices, but we're gonna talk about that. Yeah. So again, thank you all very much for joining us tonight. Greatly appreciate it. Again, this is my last time signing off from Brooklyn, and we will see you next week. Miss Mia Hughes will be joining us from the land down under. So look forward to seeing y'all then. Have a great night, and thanks for watching.